matter of the soul. This fair world of ours, Thanatos, has for too long suffered under the yoke of the devils from the maw. You gasp. How could someone speak this way about our blessed bearers of the word? Our absentee overlords have done nothing for us. We work and toil and slave away in the dark for their minions and their blasphemous machine god. We suffer the pain, we suffer the sacrifice, we suffer their terrible rituals and their dark creations. Do not tell me that you are not aggrieved by the cries of your children in the night as they hear voices whisper in their ears from the ether. Do not tell me that you do not see the sigils that turn your eyes blind and hear the sounds that make your ears bleed. Brothers and sisters, we have been born into the most horrible, unnatural place. And the blame is placed squarely on the shoulders of our overlords. I hear some of you say that if the bearers of the word were here, they would fix all of this. They would cast out the tyrants and bring us salvation. I have grim news for you, friends. All of this is their doing. All of our misery is suffered at their command. Some will not want to hear it, but in your hearts, you know that it is the truth. The only word our masters bear is tyranny. But do not despair. There is salvation to be found. Not in the embrace of the dark gods, not in the machine, and not in the false emperor on his throne of corpses. There is a true God, and it lives above us, out there in the heavens. And his angels are coming, brothers and sisters. They are coming, and we know this because some of them are already here, and they walk among us. Brothers and sisters, salvation is at hand. An end to suffering, an end to pain. The star children have seen our pain, and they take pity. All they ask is your allegiance. All they ask is your faith. All they ask is that you fight for them, just as they come to fight for you. Brothers and sisters, I beckon you, I'll make the offer. Cast off your shackles, come back to the deserts. Come back to our ancestral homes and join us as we prepare to...
That's enough.
Blasphemy, all of it, my lord.
Obviously, First Chaplain, I have ears. What I do not know is what in the god's name the heretic was speaking of. Star Children? What do you know of this cult, Eric?
I must confess, my lord, I am unsure. It sounds quite unlike the words of any number of cults belonging to our rivals. Whatever this is, I think it's unlikely to be treachery born from one of the other legions.
First Captain, do you have any more practical advice to share?
My lord, I have none. Save to say that it disgusts me. I wish to destroy the source of this transmission at the earliest opportunity. I've been ordering the First Company to ready their Stormbirds for the moment we heard the transmission from the Mechanicum priests.
All business as usual, Thanatos.
Might I ask, what did the transmission say? I was not on the bridge at the time.
Not much that was helpful. Just that half the forges are dark and silent. The workers are gone. Long-range auspex detects concentrations of life forms in the deep deserts. More importantly, our needs for munitions and machinery cannot be met until this situation is resolved.
The weakness of the Mechanicum betrays us once again. Most unfortunate.
Unfortunate? Corvatic, this fleet cannot continue its gods-given mission until we have our weapons and supplies. I hope you appreciate the gravity of this situation.
Of course, my lord.
Good. That is why you shall be the first to make planetfall. Take Talezra's men and his Stormbirds, get down to those forges and investigate what in the warp's infernal name is going on down there. Then fix it. Bring the fire of the gods to these people if necessary. I want those weapons, and I want those engines. Make it happen.
For the Dark Gods.
For the Dark Gods.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to 40k 8th edition, and welcome to the Dark Mechanicum Forge world of Thanatos VII. This place is owned by the Dark Mechanicum, overseen by the Wordbearers, the chapter of the Dark Maw, who rule this sector of space with an iron fist ever since the Great Rift opened and chaos has been in ascendancy. The Dark Maw have sallied forth from their strongholds in the nearby warp storms of this area and have conquered themselves, carved out a pretty hefty piece of the sector to call their own. And deep within the dark demon worlds of their little empire in this corner of the Ultima Segmentum is this place, Thanatos VII. Once a Adeptus Mechanicus forge world, now run and owned by the Dark Mechanicum, with whom the Wordbearers have a number of pacts. Here is where we forge the demon engines. Here is where we forge our tanks and war machines and munitions. And it is here we have come for these very exact things. We're bringing new campaigns, new religious wars out into the Imperium to convert the servants of the Corpse Emperor to the true faith. But we had to come here first to get some guns and stuff. So that's why we're here. And of course, when the Wordbearers arrived, they discovered that the Dark Mechanicum priests said, well, look, in so many words, look, we've got a bit of a problem. A lot of the workforce has gone missing and some of our forges have gone dark and we don't really know why. So, we've come to investigate. Here at this outpost here at the edge of one of the forges, the Wordbearers have touched down. They've come by here in a Thunderhawk or a Stormbird. They've spread out over the area and they're trying to investigate what on earth is going on, because for now, all that they've found is crumbling ruins and cold forges and no evidence as to what happened. There's no bodies, no nothing. Everyone just seems to have up and disappeared and let this place fall into ruin sort of more quickly than you would expect as well. Things have just become sort of rusted and corroded and crumbling away in what seems like a preposterously short space of time, which is very unusual. And so here, folks, here is where the uprising begins. Here is where the zealots, the religious fanatics of the Wordbearers, come face to face with the religious fanatics of the Rusted Claw, a sector-spanning Genestealer cult that has basically got its talons, its tendrils, into the depths of Thanatos, out into its mighty deserts and into the deep forges underground. The Wordbearers have got nothing short of a huge uprising on their hands, and they're going to have to do something about it. So here we are, folks, today, in Mission 1 of this new little campaign here, where the Wordbearers are about to meet their enemy face to face for the first time, as they stand here in the middle of this abandoned manufactorum sector, and blips on the auspex start to appear in the distance and start to get closer and closer and closer. So that, folks, today is the mission. Joining me for this wonderful, wonderful campaign mission here is the wonderful AP Burn, Mr. Andrew here.
Howdy.
With your lovely Genestealer Cult.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully they will
be lovely, but I haven't played them ever before.
Okay.
This is literally the first game, so
No pressure then.
yeah, there's likely going to be a few mistakes and forgotten rules and errors and things being called the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's kind of par for the course.
It's
really.
okay, it's fine. I've been there. I've done the whole here I am in a batrep playing the army for the first time thing. I'm sure we'll be okay. I had a little look at the codex myself, so maybe between us we'll catch some occasional mistakes in this massive sieve of ours that we've got between us. But so yeah, thank you for bringing them along. They're a kind of newish army. They got their codex update really recently. Again, I don't know very much about them, so it's very exciting from my point of view, and I just think it's a very cool setup. You've got one set of religious nutters beating up another set of religious nutters, and neither of them, for once, are Imperium.
Well, that's what makes it a bit different, isn't it? It's nice to have a game where there's no for the Emperor nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. As an Imperial player, I felt a shiver down my spine.
For the Dark Gods, or for your
The four-armed Emperor.
Four-armed Emperor,
The
yeah.
Star Children.
Yeah, the nice thing also about this campaign is I don't have to remember Death to the False Emperor, because there is no such thing as Death to the Four-armed Emperor. So
Well, yeah, let's not introduce that as a rule. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah. Oh man, so many times I forget that. Like I played Winters recently on a battle report for his channel, which will be up possibly around similar time as this one, and he wrote on a piece of paper Death to the False Emperor and stuck it up in the opposite side of the room from where I was standing so that I'd try and remember it. Didn't remember it once. So we don't have to in this, which is lovely. So
yes, yeah, there's just innumerable other new rules to remember.
Excellent, brilliant. So all right, well, welcome to the channel. And let's go take a look at the armies. Alright folks, here we are, 1,500 points of the Bearers of the Word. They've appeared once on this channel before they were sent packing in disgrace by the Ultramarines, but they returned today, recast in crimson, literally repainted. I repainted them, I actually did. I think they look much better now. And I painted up all these wonderful little Chaos Marines you can see here. I finished these about a week before GW announced the new True Scale Chaos Marines. So had to go scream into a cushion after that. But here they are nevertheless. I'm still quite proud of them. Lots of kit bash stuff in here, including these possessed. So let's get on with the list itself. What we have here today is an army that is basically a kind of scouting force. It's essentially what... We've arrived here in a big Stormbird or Thunderhawk or something like that, and this is what we've packed in here. So as you can see, there's no big vehicles or huge demon engines or anything like that. It's just stuff that would fit inside a large aerial transport, which, you know, has just dropped us off in this scenario, and it's dusted off and it's left us here. So what we've got is, if we start with the HQs over here, we've got 3 HQs. We've got a Master of Possession. He's the new guy over there. We've got a Dark Apostle, who is the Warlord today, and he's got the Voice of Lorgar Warlord trait, which basically gives him an extra 3 inches on his aura bubble. Nice and easy to remember. And we have a Chaos Sorcerer. Psychic powers for these guys. Chaos Sorcerer's got Warp Time and Prescience. Again, nice and easy to remember. The Master of Possession has Cursed Earth and Power of the Warp Power. Something like that. Basically, we'll go over these powers as we get to them in the game, but he's got the sort of more buffing powers rather than the aggressive ones in this particular game. So that's the HQs. Basically what we've got is a battalion and a vanguard detachment. So yeah, that gives me 9 command points. 9 command points in total. And what it consists of basically is cultists, including we have an infiltrator in our ranks here. I can't find one of my cultists, so we've got a replacement here, and he doesn't look quite right. There's something about him that just doesn't seem like, can't put my finger on it, but he's just he's different, that guy.
Working to bring you down from within.
It's all part of the plan, yes. So yeah, I got 1 unit of cultists here with the autoguns and a heavy stubber. I got 1 unit of cultists over here with flamer and close combat weapons. I have 2 units of Chaos Space Marines, 1 here with bolters and stuff. Got a plasma gun in there, got a las cannon, And we've got the champion here who has a big glowy blue hammer, which is going to be a power fist today. We have a unit of 10 possessed. These are the mini possessed. They're okay. I kind of like bringing them because it's fluffy for word bearers. But the real stars of the show are the greater possessed, of course, the new guys. The one on the right is from Shadowspear, the one on the left is a Galvor back from Forge World, because it turns out they make perfect greater possessed models, those guys. So we've got 2 greater possessed in this army, and they'll be receiving all sorts of buffs and things from the Master of Possession, as you can expect. We've got another unit of Chaos Marines here, we've got 10 of them. These guys are a sort of punchy close combat squad with chainswords, bolt pistols, and one of them's got a flamer, and one of them has got the icon of vengeance here, which basically gives the squad +1 leadership. It's whatever. I just like taking it because it looks cool. I like having a big spiky banner because I'm word bearers and we do spiky banners like nobody else. We have 2 obliterators. I've gone with 2, and yes, I'm using the Shadow Spear points values for these guys, not the 60 points odd they've put in the new book, because I am convinced that is a typo and it's going to get fixed very, very quickly, because these guys, frankly, are a steal at 100 odd points as it is. So we've got a pair of these guys. Normally I'd think about taking 3, but this is supposed to be kind of a light scouting force, so I decided to drop an obliterator and add a Chaos Marine squad to make it feel a bit more accurate to the scenario. I've also got a Forge World Contemptor Hellforge Dreadnought. Basically, he is armed with a pair of Death Claws. That's what these chainsaw-y things are representing, and a pair of combi bolters. Don't ask me where he's keeping the combi bolters. I didn't think of that when I was putting them together, honestly. He's got the Mark of Khorne. Not that it will affect the gameplay much at all, but you know, it's kind of obvious. He's got the Mark of Khorne. There's lots of skulls everywhere, and he's got a big icon. The Obliterators have got Mark of Slanesh because, you know, double firing. What's it called? Endless Cacophony is the thing that I want to try and take advantage of with those guys, since they're my only real firepower in the entire army, as it turns out. So we've also got another regular Hellbrute over here. Again, twin close combat weapons with heavy flamers is what he's armed with over there. And that's the lot, basically. It's a mostly punchy army. Mostly punchy, you know, aside from a few auto guns and a few bolt guns here and there. We're going to use the beta bolter rules to give them a try. The only unit it's really going to affect is this one here, and probably won't affect them very much. But we're going to give it a go anyway. And yeah, there you go. So that's the Word Bearers force that has come to this desert outpost today. Let's go take a look at the Genestealers. Alright, here's 1500 points of Genestealer Cult, the Cult of the Rusted Claw, I believe, yes?
Yes, indeed.
And a half set up table. Through the magic of cinema, this will happen
Secrets.
Yeah, this will happen after the intro, hopefully. I've made editing cock-ups in the past, let's say. Let's try and get this one right anyway. So, yeah, 1500 points of the Genestealer Cults. Would you like to tell me what these are? Because I don't know really anything about Genestealer Cults.
That makes 2 of us. Okay, cool. Well, basically we've got 3 detachments. We've got a battalion, vanguard, and an outrider. The battalion is over there on the right hand side. It's basically 2 squads of 10 neophyte hybrids and 1 unit of acolyte hybrids. And everything is WYSIWYG with the exception of the Mad Bomber at the back, who is actually having a hand flamer. It just doesn't look like hand flamer.
Who's that? I don't know.
This guy with all the dynamite.
This guy, okay.
You're not allowed to take more than 2 heavy weapons in the squad, so and technically that counts as a heavy weapon. So.
Oh, I see, right.
So he's flaming instead of bombing.
Cool.
But yeah, we've got cult icons in those squads as well. And yeah, everything is pretty much what you see is what you get. Then in the Outrider, which is right on the other side,
hello,
we've got 2 squads of the Jackals with the Wolf Quads. We've got 1 all with the close combat weapons, so it's got hammers and the leader's got an axe. Then we've got shooty bikes with shotguns and the leader's got an auto gun. And again, WYSIWYG, so the Wolf Quads have got flamer and a heavy mining laser. Then we've got 2 Ridge Runners at the back there, and they've both got the heavy mining lasers. One's got a spotter and one's got a survey auger. And this detachment is led by the super bike sniper, the Jackal Alphas.
Hello there.
Who's obviously adept at taking out characters for long range and very quick as well, so that's grand. I should have actually said in the battalion we have a couple of elites choices. We've got the Genestealers in the battalion, and the Patriarch there will be the Warlord.
Because he has to be, right?
Has to be, yeah. In Genestealer Cult's army, if you take the Patriarch, they're automatically a Warlord. And it has a couple of psychic powers, mass hypnosis and mind control, which I'll come on to later on, even when I remember to use them.
He does have a big brain.
Indeed. And by tapping his forehead, it increases his psychic power. And he'll have the entropic something or other warlord trait, which again I'll come on to in the game.
Right.
Mainly because I don't have the codex in my hand and I can't remember what it does. But that is the rusted claw specialist warlord trait.
Ah, good. Okay.
So it's all thematic to the army. Then we've got a couple of squads of parents with a hypermorph in each. One's got the big hammer and one's got the improvised street sign weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is all hammers and picks. And these guys will be in the Vanguard detachment. And the Vanguard detachment will be led by the Abominant, who is a very angry man with a very big hammer and a familiar who's his little friend.
He's like 1.5 faces. I'd be pretty angry too, really.
Yeah, and then in the other elite choices in the Vanguard will be the Locust, who's the bodyguard of the Magus. Looks like a crippled old man, but is very swift and a deadly killer with his swords.
Nice.
And then we've got the Sanctus, who's the specialist anti-psychic sniper.
More nasty sniper rifles.
And a Calamorph, who's the gunslinger. Because Rusted Claw love themselves a Calamorph.
Ah, here we go. Yeah, he's very cool.
And I think the only other squad that I haven't mentioned is the hybrid metamorphs, which are the far right-hand side over there.
These gentlemen?
Yes, who are basically just a slightly more twisted version of the Acolyte hybrids.
Gotcha. Gentlemen, gentle things? I don't know. So...
Don't ask me what any of it does, because I've never played the army before.
I have to admit, I had a brief look at the codex myself yesterday, because I've never played against Genestealer Cults, especially with the new codex. I have no idea what they do, so I've had a little look. I got a basic idea, but yeah. So the Rusted Claw. So your army rules for these guys are, you get a couple of things, right?
Yeah, rules. Let's start off with what I can remember and then go into what I can't remember. The warlord trait for the Patriarch is entropic touch.
Right.
Which is basically each time we roll an unmodified wound roll of 6 in the fight phase for a model from a friendly rusted cog unit. Yes. That actually says rusted cog in the codex.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's a typo. It should say rusted claw.
GW.
Yeah, FAQ that one. But well, it's within 6 inches of the warlord. The armor penetration is improved by 1. Basically, all of their traits are generally to do with improving AP. The thematic reason being that if they touch or look at something made of metal or armor, they degrade it.
Yes.
So their armor penetration becomes better. So Cult Creed for the Rusted Claw, and they're nomadic survivalists. So when making saving throws for a model with this Cult Creed, add 1 to the result if the weapon being used to make the attack has an armor penetration of 0 or -1. In addition, biker models with this Cult Creed do not suffer the penalty to their hit rolls for moving and shooting heavy weapons, or for advancing and shooting assault weapons. So hence why I've got a lot of bikes.
Yeah, indeed. Well, it's very nice fourth. It's very fluffy. It fits the theme of the Rusted Claw nicely, and they fit the theme of this battle today quite nicely as well. So, with that out of the way, let's go to deployment and stuff. Okay, folks, deployment is finished. This is what things look like. In the middle here, we've got Corvaric, the Master of Possession, the 2 Greater Possessed, and the Little Possessed. his elite unit of followers, the possessed, these guys that he's deliberately modelled on the Gal Vorbak of old. These possessed Marines who have taken demons into their heads and their bodies and have become monstrous killing machines. They're his sort of elite unit that he's cultivated himself, and so they're sticking with him. Where the rest of the Chaos Marines, they're off exploring other parts of this facility at the moment. But it's at this point the blips start to appear on the Auspex. The enemy, whoever they are incoming. And so we've taken up a sort of defensive position here in roughly the middle of the table. The mission we're playing is called Hold Your Gains, and essentially the way it works is I start off with a third of my army in the middle, here is the defender, and in following turns reinforcements can arrive, the other groups of units that have been exploring the other areas. I'm going to roll them as groups of units instead of individual units because we've decided narratively that makes more sense. They're moving around in sections as opposed to individual units coming in from all over the place. And essentially, the person who wins is the one who's got the most power level of stuff in the middle, basically. So I need to hold my ground in the centre here and keep the enemy Genestealer cultists out as much as I can. But I'm going to be very, very outnumbered on the first turn, that is for sure. On the bright side, it's a narrative game, which means that the word bearers can make use of their phenomenal ability of summoning demons. If necessary, if things go completely pear-shaped, we can call upon our pacts with the various dark gods and hope they don't bite our heads off in return. So, that's the scenario. It's very, very simple, really. And now, we need to basically find out who's going first. So, good sir, would you like to roll? Would you like to do the honours? This doesn't work as your usual sort of roll off and seize the initiative type scenario. The way it works in this scenario is basically we just roll 8 dice, and on a 1, 2, 3, you're going first.
Yeah, attacker 1, 2, 3, defender 3, 4, 5. No, 4, 5, 6. Can't count. It's a good start, isn't it?
Right.
You
okay.
Go first.
So we've got a little bit. We've got a moment here to prepare ourselves for the incoming attack, basically, before the cultists charge us out from the desert here and from deeper within the facility in that direction. So that's nice. We managed to spot them early enough to do something quickly before they arrive, as opposed to the other way around. All right. So word bearers, turn 1. Let's go. Okay, well, here's the turn 1 summary for the word bearers. We didn't move. I attempted to cast 1 psychic power, the Master of Possession. Here, tried to cast Cursed Earth to give an extra +1 to the invulnerable save of the nearby demon units, and failed. So basically, yeah, rolled a 4, needed a 7, and I decided not to spend any command points on it. I have spent command points on a stratagem for this mission. The mission, by the way, in case you're curious, can be found in the Vigilus, the first Vigilus book. I forget what it's called now. Vigilus, not Vigilus Ablaze, it's Vigilus Defiant. That's the one. So if you want to know where the rules for the mission are, you'll find them there. But yes, and that's basically what's happened. I failed to cast a psychic power, and I used the stratagem, which gives me a +1 to my save against shooting attacks, because we've had a chance now to dig in and defend ourselves as the oncoming horde approaches. So we've decided the possessed Ducatons in cover, all of them. So basically they'll have a 1-up save, which will help me against any AP weaponry that's coming in. So yeah, that's what we've got. That's what we've got. That's the word bearer's turn 1 done. So we're going to go over to the Genestealer Cults now and see what they're going to be getting up to. Okay, folks, it's the end of the movement phase for the Genestealer Cults. Turn 1. I should have mentioned in the last turn, actually, it was at the end of my movement phase that the blips were revealed and became models. In case you were wondering why in one cut it was blips everywhere, and the next one it was models without any explanations, because I forgot to mention that. So anyway, this is what's happened. The cult is moving in. These Ridge Riders, is that what they're called?
Ridge
Runners.
Achilles Ridge Runners.
Achilles Ridge Runners. They've moved up here. The bikes have come charging straight in through these buildings here, aiming right at the possessed. these characters over here, the Magus and the Locus,
Yeah.
they've edged forward, and over on this side, more cultists have appeared over here. We've got these, I'm just going to call cultists, I can't remember the names.
Neophyte hybrids.
Thank you, Neophyte hybrids here and here. And over here we've got these guys who are...
Hybrid metamorphs.
Thank you. Hybrid metamorphs and...
The Sanctus sniper, who's the anti-psycho sniper.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried about him.
He is moved just within range of your psycho, whose name I forget.
The Master of Possession, yeah. There he is.
And we've also got a sneaky Calamorph who's revealed himself at the back there.
Right. Oh, where's he?
He's over there with the neophytes.
Oh yeah, there he is with his dual pistols. Excellent. Very
You
cool.
can spot him because he's wrapped in a cape, and capes are awesome.
Right. Okay, so that's what's happened. That's the movement. We went into the psychic phase. The Magus attempted to cast Mental Onslaught, thank you, on the possessed, but failed. And so now we're going to go into the shooting phase as the cultists open fire with their interesting improvised weaponry. Well, folks, the shooting came thick and fast. These bikers here opening up with their shotguns, sending shrapnel pinging off down here through the buildings. These guys firing their... what do they have?
Mining lasers, heavy stubbers, and
Yeah.
the bikes have the auto pistols.
Yeah, the bikes with the auto pistols. And yes, these ridge runners as well opened up with their mining lasers, although driving around here at full tilt, they weren't very accurate with them, and they both missed. So the possessed, very lucky here. It took some hits though from some of the incoming fire. One of the possessed took a wound, and of course they had a one-up save because they're in cover, and I used the 2 command point stratagem for this scenario.
Sounds like cheating.
So they not much was going to scratch them, I think, probably. But I did take a wound anyway, and you were a bit unlucky with some of your hit rolls as well. But so far, the demon-possessed Marines stand firm, laughing in the face of your puny firepower. You have to do better than that to take down the avatars of the gods, my friend. So...
Luckily, I have some bigger guns.
Yes, indeed. With those words, I have now cursed myself because the snipers are opening fire.
Yeah. So the Jackal Alphas is going to fire the Jackal sniper rifle into your Master of Possession.
So that's this lovely gentleman here with the sniper rifle on the bike.
Yeah, I believe it's a lady though. So
Was it a lady? I'm terribly sorry. Okay, we'll just move on.
So it's heavy 1, but we're hitting on 2s.
That sums up your turn so far, right?
Yeah. Never mind. No, never mind. I was going to say
He gets it in. It gets the shot in his sights there for a second, and just by random chance, like in Day of the Jackal, he stoops to pick something up, and the bullet just goes straight over his head.
Yeah, I'm trying desperately to read the priority target sighted rule to see if I can re-roll it.
Worm
or
your way
add
out of
one,
this, yes.
or no. It does say until the end of the phase, add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by friendly cult units, but I have to select the model at the start of the shooting phase, and I didn't. So,
Right.
Well, I did actually, but it was the possessed.
Ah.
So that helps me not. But anyway.
Okay, so the Sanctus.
Yes, we're going to try again. With the special silence sniper rifle, I believe it's called.
Maybe we'll have some more luck.
So this is also heavy 1, also hitting on 2s. So there we go.
Definitely hits this time, yeah.
And it is the Master of Possession again.
Yep.
So yeah, we can target characters even if they're not. If it's a 6-up, you get 1 mortal wound in addition to normal damage. And if the Psycho loses any wounds, you instantly suffer perils of the war.
That's not good.
So I just have to wound you.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So strength 4, toughness 4, I guess.
Yep.
Wounds?
Wounds. What's the minus on this then?
-1.
So I've got a 4-up save then. Okay. For the Dark Gods. No.
Excellent. It's D3 damage. For 1.
1. Okay, 1, and he also now suffers perils of the war.
He does instantly.
So that's more D3 wounds. 1. So he takes 2. Thing is, he's only got 2 wounds left. He's only a Master of Possession. He's not He's not a Chaos Lord in Terminator armor or anything, so that hurt. You didn't get to kill him in one fell swoop, though, which is what I think you were hoping for. Yeah,
I was kind of hoping to get rid of your buffing psyker leave a gaping hole. Plus, it's a new model. So.
Yeah, exactly. With 2 sniper rifles hitting on 2 pluses, you were slightly cheated there, I think, but I'm quite happy, I have to say.
There's plenty where you can't kill both those units, so there'll be another shot.
Yeah, I might have to run into cover or something, I don't know. Alright, so that's the end of your shooting phase, correct?
Yes, yeah, nothing else is in range to do any damage to anyone.
Okay, so I have a feeling some of these bikes are going to come wheeling straight into me, so...
Indeed.
Let's go take a look at the charge phase. Okay, this squad of bikes here, armed with the close combat weapons, they've come wheeling in, vaulting over the top of this little barricade here, and smashing their weapons away at these possessed. I'd like to have been able to heroically intervene with one of these great possessed, but there's just not enough room. They're too big. Right. Would you like to begin, sir? Begin the fight phase? There was no Overwatch, of course, because possessed don't have guns, even though I've modelled some of them with guns.
But, well, pistol whip me when you go to hit back. So we're just going to do 3 attacks from the standard bikers with their power picks. So hitting on 4s. No hits.
Oh dear.
That sums up my turn so far. Then we'll do the leader, who's got the power axe. Again, hitting on 4s.
Okay.
Nope.
Wow.
We've got. I did say that it was an improvised weapon but I realised that that's a guy near the squad, and he's got blasting charges, so he doesn't get to hit.
Oh.
So that's that.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, they're possessed. They're supernaturally quick. You know. These guys. Or guys very much like them once stalked the battlefields of Istvan 5 at the end of the day and caused absolute havoc. So don't feel too bad.
Don't forget, I've got plenty that hasn't even been deployed yet.
Yes, that's the thing. Beneath the sands here, tunnelling around and what have you, is a quite significant force of real nasty dudes. So if things look a bit thin on the ground at the minute, folks, it's because they are thin on the ground. It's just not so thin under the ground right now. Alright, so I think it's about time these possessed fought back. Alright. The possessed have piled in. 6 of them are going to be able to fight these bikes. And they have their horrifying mutations. Which means that I roll a d3, and that's the number of attacks each model in the unit is going to get. So 3! Okay, it's the big 3. Okay, so here's the possessed. Striking the bikes. Hitting on 3s and re-rolling everything because of the Dark Apostle who is nearby. So... Okay, with the re-rolls, 17 of those 18 attacks went through. Auspicious number, that 17, with the 17th Legion after all. So, now rolling to wound, and these will wound on 3s because we're strength 6 with the Great Possessed nearby, toughness 4. Alright, with 10 wounds going through there at -2, there was no save available for these bikers, and so... writhing tentacles and serrated blades came flashing out at supernatural speeds and tore them to ribbons. The wolf quad's gone, 3 of the other bikes have gone, just leaving this guy here doing his crazy wheelie there.
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen there. So of course he had to survive. Yeah, charging possessed, apparently it can be nasty. If they roll really well on their horrific mutations.
Really poorly.
Yeah, that was bizarrely swingy, but hey, we won't get too cocky yet because there's the really nasty close combat stuff is yet to arrive. So, okay, there we go. That's the end of the fight phase. Do you have morale to do? I think you do, don't you?
Yeah. 3, lost 4. 7. No, that's fine. He's got 8.
Okay. Steve McQueen stands.
Fearless.
With that,
you
folks,
could say it was a great escape.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. -5 points, sir. All right. With that concluded, that's the end of Genestealer Cult turn 1. So let's go over to the Word Bearers. Turn 2. Okay, folks, it's Word Bearers turn 2. We're at the end of the movement phase. There wasn't any movement, so yeah, that was very quick. And what happens at the end of the movement phase is I roll for my reinforcements, basically. So we split it into 3 groups, essentially. One group, which is each group is a Dreadnought, Chaos Marine Squad, and Cultist Squad. One of them, though, is led by the Sorcerer, who's not actually here yet. And the Obliterators, who I'm treating as a third separate thing. So, and they will be teleporting in if they get their reserve roll. So, we'll start with the first group, led by the Sorcerer. 3+, they arrive. That's a 6. They arrive. What about the second group, then? That's a 4. They also arrive. What about the Obliterators? No, the Obliterators aren't here yet. Yay. Something they're lost in the warp for the minute, I think, apparently. Okay, so let's go set those guys up. Okay, reinforcements have arrived. The Dark Apostle calling out on the Vox has been answered. The southern group of reinforcements has arrived here, and the second group up here have arrived on the northern edge, being led by the large Cornate Contempt Dreadnought, and in the south, being led by this Chaos Sorcerer. The Obliterators, as we said, seem to be lost in the warp somewhere. Maybe they'll turn up later. However, that's what things look like now. We got cultists on the left, we got cultists on the right, we got a slightly different flavour of cultists on the south and the northern edges now, and we're about to go into the psychic phase. So, I think I'm going to begin with the Master of Possession attempting once again to cast Cursed Earth and give himself and all the possessed nearby a 4-up invulnerable save. That would be really nice, especially when I've got snipers, you know, training their beady eyes on me right now. So I need a 7. We get it with a 10. You wish to try and do nicer?
Can't at the moment, I'm just out of range for denial.
Ah, right, well, so that goes off. Everyone here except everyone's got a 4-up invulnerable save now. The Dark Apostle's not a demon, but he gets one anyway. Actually, I just realised the Master of Possession isn't a demon either, so he doesn't get a 4-up invuln. He's still got his crappy 5-up. Never mind. But all the possessed have got lovely 4-up saves now. Next, I'm going to cast. Oh gosh, what's it called? The other. Hang on. Infernal Power. That's what it's called. Infernal Power. And yes, I'll be able to reroll 1s to hit and to wound if you've got the demon keyword nearby, the Legion keyword and the demon keyword, that is. So this will go off on a 6, I believe. That's an 11. That's definitely happening. I should save that for a smite. Okay, so rerolling 1s to hit and wound over there, within 6 inches of the Master of Possession. Moving down here to the Sorcerer, he's going to cast Prescience on this unit of Chaos Space Marines here with a 7, I think that goes off. Yeah, I'm almost sure it does. I'll double check in a second. But alright, that works, and now he's going to smite, and I believe the closest enemy visible unit is this Ridge Runner here.
Yeah.
So, smiting! Yes, that goes off on a 10. So D3 mortal wounds for 2.
Cool.
As I smite you with the dark powers of the gods, and I would call it like a Doom Bolt, but I think Doom Bolt is actually a completely different power that Thousand Suns get. But anyway, lots of pink glowy light, I think, probably coming at you. Pink warp light and explosions and, yeah, all that good stuff. I'm doing an amazing job with the narration today, aren't I? I'm just
it's highly polished in there.
Right, cool. That's the psychic phase over and done with. Let's start shooting some guns. Okay, folks, we're beginning with a squad of Chaos Space Marines here that have been affected by prescience. They're going to be splitting their fire as follows. The bolt guns. We're going to be firing at these bikes over here. Plasma gun here and the las cannon are going to be fighting. That's where did that word come from? They're going to be shooting, firing, shoot. They're going to be shooting. My brain sometimes amazes me, and not in a good way. They're going to be shooting at the Ridge Runner here, and because we've got some minuses to hit and stuff going on, plus prescience, it's all getting a bit complicated. So basically, we'd normally be hitting on 2s because of prescience, but the bikers have a -1 to hit on them, so we're hitting on 3s with bolt guns against them. The plasma gun will be hitting on a 2 against the Ridge Runner. The las cannon will be hitting on a 3 because it's a heavy weapon and counts as having moved. So, basically everything's hitting on 3s except for the plasma gun that's hitting on 2s. And I've spent a command point on Veterans of the Long War, so I can add 1 to all wound rolls made for this unit until the end of the phase. So, let's start with these bolt guns opening up on those bikes. Oh, very good. Everything hits. And this will now wound on 3s because you're toughness 4. I'm strength 4, and we've got Veterans of the Long War, so... Yes, excellent. So yeah, 4 wounds, no AP whatsoever.
Okay, 4 5-ups. Okay, 2 go through. That's 1 dead bike.
1 dead bike. Excellent. Right. Now the plasma gun. He's going to be rapid firing into that. Not going to overcharge this. He did hit twice. Probably should have overcharged. Strength 7. Wounds on a 3. 2 wounds. AP minus 3.
On the Ridge Runner?
Yes.
Okay, 2 seconds.
Okay, these Ridge Runners have 4-up saves, and that was a minus 3 plasma shot. Well, 2 minus 3 plasma shots, so no save at all. Down to 4 wounds, and now the las cannon hitting on a 3. It hits. It wounds on a 2. It definitely wounds. AP minus 3.
So no save.
No save. D6 damage. 6.
It's dead.
Does it go kaboom?
Doesn't.
It doesn't.
Just.
Alright. Okay, next we had some cultist on cultist action. These cultists here opened up with their auto guns and were surprisingly accurate, actually. They killed 4 of these neophyte hybrids?
Yep.
I remembered! Yeah, killed 4 of them with auto gun fire, firing out of these ruins into those. And that basically concluded all of my shooting, because nothing else is in range. Or has line of sight for that matter. So now, we come over here, where Corvaric, the Dark Apostle, who is right now obscured by this great big possessed, who's just photo-bombing right now like a boss.
His massive staff.
You can see his mace poking out the side there, but anyway. He's got a plasma pistol. He's going to fire it at Steve McQueen here. And he's going to overcharge. I could right now instantly kill.
He'll need a cool hand to overcharge.
He will.
I'm not going to stop.
I see you did there. Right, yeah. He hits on a 3. And on a 1, he's just straight up dead. I will command point it if it happens, though. He hits. His aim is true. Corvaric is a veteran of 10,000 years. He was never going to miss. I don't know why we entertained the thought. Alright, so he hits. That's strength 8, I think. It's not often I use plasma pistols, you know.
Toughness 4.
I don't know why. Yeah, so 2s to wound.
Is it because you prefer bullets?
Yes. Things that don't explode in my face, if possible. Alright, that does wound. AP minus 3.
Okay, that's no save.
2 damage.
Yeah, he's dead.
Steve McQueen
Steve
is no more. Of course, you know,
going back to the cool
at least his bike is no more, yeah. Much like in the movie, he's been captured again.
He's going back. He's got baseball. He's got his met. He's happy.
He didn't make the jump into Switzerland this time.
He'll be back.
Alright, so...
At least I'll stop punning now.
Yeah. You stop punning just because he died?
Yeah, I know, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. Be realistic here, sir. Alright, so that is the end of my shooting phase. That was a fun way to end it.
Charges?
Charges, indeed. The Dreadnought over here has nothing to charge anymore. I did completely wipe out that Ridge Runner, so no charge there, which makes me a little bit sad. Well, it definitely makes the Hellbrute sad anyway. So the Possessed over here, I think they're probably going to charge that quad bike. And the guy attached to it by proxy, yeah. Or, hold on.
He has a big flamer.
You know what? I'm going to multi-charge. Because why the heck not? The Possessed, they're going to charge your boy over here with the sniper rifle and this unit of bikes here. I'm doing it. It's happening. This might be a terrible idea, but it's happening. Okay, Overwatch was done, no damage was caused, the sniper rifle missed, and the shotgun blasts were ineffective, and so was the incinerator. The Possessed's armour and flesh metal, it's all kind of just ate it. We're made of this stuff, you know. It's going to take more than just fire. Right, now I need a 3-inch charge to get into this unit of bikes here. I need an 8 if I want to get into the jackal leader there and to at least tie him up. So, that'll do. That'll do very nicely. That's a 10. Well, folks, the possessed have well and truly sallied forth from their little defences here, with some very weird charges ultimately. Just made a slight error there. He needs to be like there. So basically, the unit is split up. Some of them have gone this way towards the jackal. Some have gone this way towards these bikes. I left enough room for a greater possessed to get through as well, and he succeeded with his charge to get into these bikes here. Not awful lot is really going to be smacking the jackal leader himself. It's probably unlikely I'll kill him, but I'm assuming he can't fall back and shoot. No, so at least I won't have that sniper rifle bearing down on one of my characters next turn. And that's what things look like. That's all my charges done. So let's jump into the fight phase and start killing things with our horrifying mutations. That's actually what they're called as well, I think. That's what the weapon is called, horrifying mutations. So, let's start with the possessed, shall we? Let's roll the d3 for their number of attacks. 2 each this time. Okay, over here, these possessed managed to drag down another bike. And now we're moving up to the other half of the squad over here, who are attacking the jackal leader. I decided it's probably worth filming this, considering he's a character. So, 6 attacks from the 3 possessed that can fight him. These will hit on 3s, re-rolling from the Dark Apostle. So we roll these. Okay. 5 hits. And this is strength 6 because of the greater possessed. And re-rolling 1s thanks to the Master of Possession's power. So that is 5 wounds at -2.
Okay, they all go through.
Alright, that's
There's
5
no save there. This is 5 up save.
Alright, so that's 5 damage then.
Cool. So 5 damage, and he's got 5 wounds, so he's dead.
Alright, Sniper has been taken out. That's 1 headache removed. It would possibly a really big headache if he'd shot me.
So, it looks like that's what he's about to do.
So he's dealt with. Sanctus over here, on the other hand, no idea how on earth I'm going to deal with him. He's a million miles away. But the possessed have done their job. Now we're going to move over to this greater possessed here, attacking the rest of these bikes. And the greater possessed lashed out with his demonic mutations, and he managed to take 2 wounds off that wolf quad. But tough old things, those. 4 wounds each. Quite difficult to get rid of. So that concludes my side of the fight phase. Time for you to fight back, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to fight back with the bikes. So it's 1 attack for the quad and 1 attack for the biker and 2 for the leader. They've all got improvised weapons. So.
You going on the big guy or the little guys?
The big guy, sorry, I should have said.
No.
But only 1 hit anyway. Wounds though, no minus.
Alright, 3 up save. Yep.
Your rolling's doing my head in today.
Sorry. Right. That's the end of the fight phase.
Is indeed.
Morale.
Bikes, they've lost 2, so yeah, they can fail, but not with that.
Great, so they hold firm. And that concludes the end of the Wordbearer's turn 2. The dark gods are on our side, it seems, for now. But something emerges from the sands, I have a feeling. So let's go over to Genestealer Cult's turn 3. And, no, turn 2.
Turn 2.
Yeah, and, oh dear, it's already happening. Already losing track. Turn 2, coming up next. Alright, folks. This is what things look like at the end of the movement phase. Almost the end of the movement phase, I should say. For the Genestealer Cults. They have emerged from the sands. Yes, they have. These aberrants. And the Abominant, thank you, have emerged over here perilously close to my characters over here. I left them completely open. The diversion attack over here worked. It drew away the possessed. And then the ambush was sprung. Masters of ambush, the Genestealer Cults, of course. So, elsewhere over here as well, though, the Pure Strain Genestealers and the Patriarch have emerged as well. So we've got blobs of dudes all over the place. We've got Chaos here, we've got Chaos in the middle, Chaos over there, Genestealers all over the place. It's we're making the most out of the battlefield space we've got here today. However, we're not done with the movement phase just yet, are we?
No. As we're playing narratively, and it's a friendly game, just between two old friends, I'm going to use the perfect ambush stratagem twice.
Yes. That's 6 command points in total.
6 command points in total, but I don't use them for rerolls, so I may as well use them for this. So I'm going to use it on both squads of aberrants.
Right.
So basically they get to move an additional d6 and they can still charge.
Yeah.
Do shenanigans. So this unit is going to move 3 inches. This unit is going to move 5 inches.
Oh dear. Alright, with the additional moves, things are looking like this now. It's going to be a 5-inch charge for these boys to get in here. And a maths thing. Something inch charge to get in here.
To be fair, I didn't measure it, but
you didn't measure it. Yeah, we'll find out later. But they are significantly closer to their targets now. That's the important thing.
It's hammer time.
Yeah, it is indeed hammer time. Look at all those hammers. That's scary, man. I think Korvarik and his cohorts here may have woefully underestimated the foe today, and they might be about to pay for their mistake. Let's find out. All right. So, psychic phase next, though.
Yeah, cool. I'm just going to straight up old-fashioned smite the possessed from the Magus.
Very good.
Yeah, that goes off. And
10. No, I won't deny that. You do kill one though. You finish off this guy over here.
Cool. And he's going to use one of his familiars. I'm just going to take him off so that we remember that I've done it.
Okay.
To cast another psychic power, and this time it is going to be mind control on the possessed. So it goes off on a 7.
All right.
Which it does.
6, 7, 8. No, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to try and deny that.
Go for it.
With the Master of Possession. No.
Nope. So the possessed it says that even though they are in combat, it doesn't specify, but hang on, they can make a single close combat attack against an enemy model of my choice. So your possessed are going to attack the greater possessed.
I see. Okay, so it's one model in the unit that gets to do this, so one of these little possessed are going to turn around and try and smack the greater possessed, right?
Yep, so this is for number of attacks.
1. See,
Joy.
It works for me, it doesn't work for you. It's because I have faith, my friend.
And it misses.
Yeah, there you go, see? The dark gods protect me, sir.
That was a well-used familiar.
Oh dear. Okay, well, that's the end of the psychic phase, yes?
Not quite.
Not quite, okay.
Because the Patriarch also has 2 psychic
of course
powers.
he does, yeah.
So he's got mass hypnosis and psionic blast. So he is going to do psionic blast on the possessed. So it goes off on a 5, which it does.
Right.
And enemy unit within 18, which is them. 2d6. It is 7. So is that higher than the highest leadership in that unit?
I'm afraid not, because the Dark Apostle's boosting it to 9.
Okay. If it had have gone through, then it was 1 mortal wound or d3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
Depending on exactly what the result was.
Gotcha.
Oh, sorry, I've misread that completely.
Oh dear.
If the result is less than the highest leadership, you get 1 mortal wound.
Oh, okay, right.
If it's more, you get d3. So it's basically like a baby smite.
Baby smite, yay! Alright, I'll put a wound on this pink tentacly fellow over there. Not very fond of him, you know.
Cool.
Alright.
Okay, so we'll go straight into mass hypnosis on the same unit.
Okay.
It goes off on a 7, which it does. For a second I thought I was perils. Okay, so until the start of my next psychic phase, that was a waste of power. Because you have guns modelled, but you don't shoot.
No, I'm afraid not.
So, never mind, that never happened.
Okay.
But it's basically -1 to hit for anything that charges you. But me.
Right, okay.
Never mind. Fail. Now the psychic phase is over.
Right.
Top tip, kids, know your army.
Yeah. Sorry, I sneakily modelled some guns on them. It's because I was running out of possessed arms, so...
To be fair, I have asked you twice and I've forgotten twice, so it's my bad. It's my
Okay.
bad.
Well, they were hypnotised, but to no real great effect.
Yes, indeed.
So, shooting. Let's shoot some guns. So, elsewhere on the battlefield, these gentlemen over here opened fire with their hand flamers against these Chaos Marines and killed one of them. And now, the Sanctus is aiming his sniper rifle once again at the Master of Possession here.
Yeah, we're hoping for a repeat performance. It's heavy 1, hasn't moved, still in range. Hit on 2s.
Yes.
Hits. Strength 4. Toughness 4. It doesn't wound.
Right. Breathe another sigh of relief.
Oh dear. So that did nothing. And I've got nothing else to shoot because everything either advanced or is out of range.
Right then, well, on to the far more important charge phase then.
Yes, so this group of adherents is going to charge the Dark Apostle and the Master of Possession.
Alright then, well, Master of Possession has a bolt pistol. It misses. Plasma pistol on the Dark Apostle.
Overcharging?
No. It misses anyway, so.
Sure. So 5-inch charge.
Yeah, you're well in there.
I did panic for a second. I'll move those in a minute. These guys are going to attempt to charge the Master of Possession and the Greater Possessed.
Yep. Well, again, he's modelled with a gun because he's a Gale Vorback from Forge World, but he doesn't actually have a gun. So it's no bullets in it.
I'll just double check the charge range. They're going to need 8 to get within an inch.
Alright then.
Which is what I just rolled for the others, so it's doable. No, it's not.
Okay, right. So only half of the pain train has arrived, but that's probably more than enough anyway. Okay, folks, it's the end of the charge phase. One quick note before we go forward, though. We remembered the Ridge Runner hiding behind those boxes there. He fired. We went back and did his shooting. He fired everything at the Dreadnought and missed. The Dice Gods decided to punish us for forgetting. So that happened. Well, decided to spare me, apparently, yeah. However, here's how things look at the end of the charge phase. Many charges were attempted. Some were failed. The Locust did manage to make his charge into these Possessed over here. So he's going to be whipping out his crazy blades and doing some awesome badass stuff, hopefully. These Genestealers attempted to make it into the Possessed but failed. Meanwhile, over here, these...
Acolyte hybrids.
Thank you. Acolyte hybrids have charged the Cultists. And over at this end, the... What are they called?
They're hybrid metamorphs.
Hybrid Metamorphs. They charged into the Chaos Marines, but losing a couple of guys to the Flamer on the way in. The Flamer rolled a big fat 6 on its Overwatch, so... That's how things look at the end of the charge phase. Let's go into the fight phase. Also, I heroically intervened with that Greater Possessed because that seemed like a really good idea. Anyway, moving over here now to the Locust, who has to fight first because he has a rule that says so. So he's going to be smacking these Possessed silly.
4 attacks, hitting on 2s. All hit.
Mm-hmm.
Wounding on...
Their toughness 4.
Okay, so he is... Strength 4, so 4s. Okay, 2 wounds. And because he charged, it's 2 damage apiece rather than 1.
Right.
It's -3 as well, I should say.
Alright, I believe I still have my 4 up invulns from the Master of Possession while he's still alive for now, so... yeah. No, failed, and... Oh, the suspense is incredible. Failed, alright.
2 dead.
2 dead Possessed straight away. Moving over here to this fight now, I'm spending 2 command points, which leaves me with 4 left, on this area here to interrupt combat with this Greater Possessed. So he's going to be smacking these guys. He has 5 attacks. He's going to hit on 2s and re-roll because of the Dark Apostle. But he hits with everything. And he's strength 6 now. You guys are toughness
4.
Sure, yeah, 4. So 3s re-rolling 1s. From Infernal Power. I finally remember the name of that psychic power. There we go. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 at -2.
Okay, that takes it to 7 up.
Ah.
What's the damage?
It's D3 each.
Cool.
So-
Whatever it is, because of bestial vigor, it gets reduced by 1.
Oh, interesting. Okay, how many wounds do they have each then?
They have 2 wounds each.
Okay,
and
so-
the hypermorph has 3.
All right then. First one then. Okay, 1.
I should say it's reduced to a minimum of 1.
Another 1.
So that's
So-
2. That's 1 dead one.
Okay, and 2 reduced to 1. And 2 reduced to 1 again. So we've killed 2?
Yeah. Except with bestial vigor, for each of those wounds, I roll a dice. And on a 5 up,
Unbelievable.
they're ignored. I'm going to say 5 up. On a 5 up, that wound is not lost.
Oh,
so
gosh.
For each of those, on 5s, it's ignored. So only 1 is dead.
Okay.
I'm going to take this guy with the pick.
Right. That was underwhelming to say the least. My goodness, I didn't realise they were quite that tough.
Neither did I.
Yeah. Alright, so where do you want to fight now?
Well, unless you want to pay more CP to interrupt with your other chaps later, there's no real point doing that. Combat just yet. So
I haven't decided if I want to interrupt yet, actually. I've only got 4 CP left. So.
well, let's do the aberrant, seeing as we're in this neck of the woods. So first off, we'll do 3 attacks with the hypermorph with his improvised weapon, hitting on 3s.
And who are you hitting?
I'm going to hit your Master of Possession chap,
Okay.
because I want him dead. All hit. It is strength 5, toughness 4, so 3s. All wound,
Okay.
and it is -1, and it's 2 damage.
Alright, 4 up saves him.
Uh,
Fails 1. So that means he's dead anyway, unless I want a command point reroll that, and
I did make a mistake there, but it
Did
only
you?
makes him more dead.
It only makes him more dead, okay.
It says make 2 hit rolls for each attack made with this weapon, so it should be
Crikey,
6
okay, yeah, he's so dead it's not even funny. Alright, bye.
And it's also strength times 2, not strength plus 2. So
Excellent, yeah.
he's
so
definitely dead.
completely and utterly, yeah.
But in order to not take the mickey, I did say that they were all going to target him, so that's that unit
Oh,
done.
okay, fair enough.
I should have split attacks, but I didn't realise they were quite that good.
Yeah, we're both learning today. Lots of learning is happening.
I definitely am learning this army as we go, and next time I will be better.
Okay, let's paper over with some narrative. Both these armies have never met before. They're getting the measure of each other, and so they're not quite sure what they're doing. They're both learning, and much like we are, and that's why they're perhaps not being as lethal as they could be towards one another.
It's a young cult. It's only just been gathered together to take this world.
Indeed, they've ventured into chaos space for the first time. This is a completely different foe, you see.
It's definitely chaotic.
And the word bearers, for their part, they've possibly never run into a Genestealer Cult like this before. So there we go. Narrative papered over. Let us continue. Okay, folks, to summarise an awful lot of what's happened, 3 cultists were killed by these acolyte hybrids. Yeah, I think.
Yes. Sorry.
3 cultists cut down by them. While over on this flank, we lost 3 Chaos Marines to various flailing whips and other nasty mutated weapons.
Just nice big hugs.
Nice big huggles, yes. Elsewhere over here, the bikes also fought back, but didn't inflict any wounds. And so that's all of the occult units that have fought. Now we're going to try and strike back. Alright, now after the word bearers have retaliated, the following has happened. The Dark Apostle swung, he hit, but he did not wound at all, not even once. These creatures are preposterously tough, even for his cursed Crozius.
Bestial vigor.
Yes. The possessed, meanwhile, they brought the Locust down to 1 wound, flailing away at him with their mutations there. They only got 1 attack for the whole unit, and in spite of that, they did pretty well. And they killed what was left of the quad bike as well, down there. Meanwhile, up on the northern end of the battlefield, the cultists killed a hybrid, and the Chaos Space Marines killed a hybrid as well. So, not very exciting really, but that is what's happened. Morale now, the cultists lost 3. 3, 4, 5, 5, they're fine. The Chaos Marines over there, they lost 2, 3, 4. I think 4 actually this turn. 4. Ooh, that's 9. However, with the banner, the Icon of Vengeance, they do have leadership 9, so that is just about okay. Plus we're word bearers and we get to re-roll. So it's the one time it actually becomes useful. Okay, so they're fine morale-wise, and the possessed. Did they lose any guys this turn? I've forgotten already.
They did. The locust killed.
Oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah. So, boop. Yeah, they're fine as well. All right. I need to start putting dice down again, like I do with my Imperial Guard, so I remember. All right. So, with that, a lot of these combats seem to be locked in a little bit of a stalemate of sorts, and now we move on to Word Bearers turn 3, and well, yeah, let's see how Corvaric directs his forces to meet this ambush now that it's been fully sprung. Let's go to turn 3. Okay folks, it's the end of Wordbearer's turn 3 movement phase. Almost the end. Got one more thing to do, but I'll get to that in a second. The Chaos Marines are moving to aid their master, the Dark Apostle over here, Corvaric. They've moved, so that last cannon's not going to be hitting quite so well this time, but I will take it. Just get in closer range there and maybe let rip with our bolters. The Dreadnought, the Hellbrute, has come up with them. He might be able to make a charge in there this turn. Might. He's definitely in range with his heavy flamers though. That's pretty good. These cultists have stayed put, staying here in the ruins, getting their cover save. A mighty 5+. But they're all within rapid fire range with their autoguns of those neophytes over there. So that's good. The Cornate Hellforged Contemptor has marched forward here. He's got some options for who he wants to charge. I'll make that decision later, I think. And everything else is pretty much just locked in combat, with the exception of this Greater Possessed who's charged past the Locust here, and I think he's hoping to take the head of that Magus, maybe. Or the Locust, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Either way, what will probably happen is next turn the Patriarch and the Genestealers will come and tear him a new one, but yeah, so what? So what? Blood for the blood, God skulls for the skull throne, let's do this. Now, there's one last thing to do. That is the reserve roll for the Obliterators. On a 3+, they finally stop being lost in the warp and they'll arrive. It's kind of important that they do. They do. And the Obliterators have arrived on top of this crate here. It's kind of the only place I could put them with a decent field of fire, actually. There's so many Genestealer cultists swarming all over this table that it was very difficult to try and find somewhere useful to actually drop them in. So there they are, and there they shall probably remain for a while at least. Now we're moving into the psychic phase, and this sorcerer down here is going to start with Prescience, and he's going to be casting it on the Berserkers? The Obliterators. I don't know where Berserkers came from. Needing a 7, which he does get with a 10. And now he's going to be casting Warp Time on this Dreadnought here. And I think he needs a 6 for this. Oh, not a Perils! No, that's bad. I'm going to take the Perils because I need my... Hang on a minute, I've got 4 command points left. Haven't I? Alright, so I'll reroll one of them.
Judging you for the reroll.
Yeah, I've avoided the Perils, but I did not improve my roll by very much. And he's silently judging me in the corner there. Alright, so my head's not going to explode, that's nice. But no warp time. Sad. Did get prescience off on these guys though, that's nice. So that brings us to the shooting phase, and I think I'm gonna... I don't know where to start, actually. I am spoiled with choices right now. Let me have a think. Alright folks, the shooting phase has well and truly gotten underway. Up here, these cultists and these Chaos Marines let fly with their pistols, but none of their shots found their mark in the end. Elsewhere, this Dreadnought has moved into the centre to try and deal with some of these big nasty hybrid things. These mutants, these filthy mutants. They're the bad kind of mutants, not the good kind.
They're your loyal and trusty workforce.
Yeah, well they were once upon a time. Yeah, I fired his commie bolters at these guys over here. Didn't do anything, but luckily these Chaos Marines over here, they did. There's a couple of dead... what are they actually called? What's their proper name?
Abhorrents. Abhorrents.
Abhorrents. I've off camera. I've been calling them chonkers. That's my new name for them. These cultists, they let fly with their auto guns and wiped out this squad of neophytes over here. They've been surprisingly accurate, those guys, the whole game, though, they have so far. Maybe it has something to do with this strange-looking fellow that has joined them today, Very odd.
He's quietly strapping C4 to each of them later in the game.
Yeah. We don't know what his plan is yet, but it's probably not good. And the Dark Apostle, he aimed his plasma pistol at these guys, he fired, he hit, he wounded, but it shrugged it off anyway.
Yep.
Just took a plasma shot to the face.
Bestial vigour
And
just bounces off.
Laughed it off, which is kind of scary. So, that brings us to the final shooting unit, which is, of course, these two obliterators here. And they are going to be firing everything. Really everything. Well, we'll find out what they're going to be firing at, because you have to roll the stats for their guns before you actually fire them. So, that's what we're going to do. So, first off, the strength of their guns, their flesh metal guns, is going to be 6 plus D3, so 8, strength 8. AP minus D3, so AP minus 3. And damage, this is important, is 2. So that is strength 8, AP minus 3, damage 2. You've got 6 shots each. I'm going to... They've got prescience on them, so they're hitting on 2s as well. I'm going to split fire. That age-old tactic that never ever fails, ever. I'm going to put one of these two into those dudes over there, those neophytes. This is overkill, possibly in the extreme, but we'll see what happens. And the other obliterator, he's going to fire at the chonkers here. I do have endless cacophony in my pocket, so if this fails miserably, I can have another go. But hopefully it won't come to that. That's the idea anyway. So let's fire at the neophytes first.
Can he see him?
That is the question, actually. Let's have a look. Okay, we are going to fire at them after a little bit of careful line of sighting. We can see one cultist over there, and that's enough. So, here we go. Hitting on 2s. Yep, everything hit. Wounding on 2s. Everything bar 1 wounded, so that's 5 dead cultists, basically. Splat. And then, the second obliterator now firing at these fellows. So again, hitting on 2s. 5 hits. And this will... They're toughness 5, but they're not.
They are indeed.
So this is a wound on 3s. I only get 2 wounds. Okay. It's minus 3.
I told you split fire always works. Go straight through.
Yeah, so D6 damage. D3 damage, sorry, not D6 damage, I'm making stuff up now. So that's 2.
Okay, 2 5-ups. Nope, it's a dead one.
And again, 3. No, he's dead as well.
He's also dead.
So 2 of them dead. Alright, that's the end of the shooting phase. I think we're going to go into the charge phase now, and I've got some ideas. And here's how we look at the end of the charge phase. None of it filmed, because there wasn't really any Overwatch involved. The Hellforged Contemptor has charged straight into the chosen one over here. What was his name? Abominant. But he has a rule or something called the chosen one, right?
Yeah.
So he's the chosen one. So that's going to be an interesting fight because both of those two hit like trucks. Both
He's going to add you to his bag of skulls, which he has strapped to his waist.
I've got also a collection of skulls. We should be friends, really. Share our skull collecting hobby.
Skulls for the skull throne?
Yeah. Right, yeah, elsewhere. I'm getting distracted now. These Chaos Marines charged up here. Got a 9-inch charge, so they've basically got themselves some free movement. This Dreadnought's made it in here as well. So there's quite a gang up of things against those Abominants there. This Great Possessed has charged into the Magos up there. He's going to try and take his head and then probably get eaten by Genestealers, but it'll be totally worth it on us. And that's it for the charges. Everything else is already stuck in combat, more or less. So we're going to begin over here. Now, Andrew's got some command points in his back pocket for interruptions, and I had to think long and hard about which fight I wanted to do first. Paying me money, taking me chances over here. I'm going to do this one first. So the chosen one over there will probably get to interrupt and smack my Hellforged Contemptor, and hopefully it will survive. But the idea here is I'd quite like to save my Dark Apostle, since he's my Warlord and everything. Not that Slay the Warlord is a thing in this game, it's just I like my characters to live when I can. You know, so...
Oh, he'll die.
Yeah, so this Hellbrute is attacking first. He's got 5 attacks because he's got 2 close combat weapons. And they hit on 3s, rerolling everything because of the Dark Apostle nearby, which is nice. So reroll that 2. Excellent, all 5 hit. Wounding on 2s because it's strength 12. Excellent, everything wounds. AP minus 3.
Cool, so no saves. What's the damage?
Flat 3 damage each, so...
5?
Yeah.
First one. He's dead. Second one. Dead. Third one.
Is... He lives! Look at that! Look at that!
But there's you know, another 2 lots to save.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 models left. So can I do that again twice? No.
Not
And
quite.
I'm dead. Last one. Oop. Sorry. Killing cultists.
That's what they're there for.
And he's alive on 1 wound.
Good grief. Right, mission accomplished there. Now, are you interrupting, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Jolly good. Where are you interrupting? Let me take a guess.
Yeah.
Abominant
into the
Hellforged Contemptor
crap
monstrosity.
thing. Yeah. So he gets 3 attacks with his massive hammer, hitting on 4s. Hits once. Does do a wound, and it is minus 3 AP.
Okay.
With his power sledge.
Well, his Hellfire Reactor does give him a 4+ invulnerable save in close combat, so 4 up. Bossed it.
That's not all though.
That is not all.
2 attacks with a familiar.
But
boss.
wait, there's more.
Both hit.
Okay.
What's his toughness again?
Toughness 7.
Okay, so I need 3s to wound you. No, I need 5s to wound you.
Never
I
mind.
wound you.
Right.
It was familiar clause, so I wasn't expecting much.
I feel like I made the correct life choice.
Yeah, that was a whiff by my account.
It was a bit really. Alright, so I'll smack you back then. This town's only big enough for 1 skull collector. So 5 attacks once again. These will hit on 2s though. Not in range for any rerolls though, sadly. So that's 4 that go through. And again, wounding on 2s. This is strength 14 this time, so 3 wounds, AP minus 3.
Okay. He has a 5 up save, but he has no, he doesn't have an invulnerable save. I was convinced he did for a minute, but he doesn't. So what's the damage for each of those?
Once again, 3 each.
Okay, so again we're looking for 5 ups. So that's 2 gone through.
Alright. Second one.
That's another 2 gone through. And he has 1 wound left.
Alright.
So I need to save all of these.
Not quite,
he's dead.
no. He is squidged. And the Hellforged Contemptor piles in 3 inches that way. Meanwhile, these Chaos Marines piled in and attacked the remaining Abominant over here, and catastrophically failed to do any damage at all whatsoever. So now we go over to here to our final charge, which was the Greater Possessed charging the Magus. He gets 5 attacks. He hits on 2s. Everything hits. His strength 6. Hits toughness 3, so wounds on 2s. Everything wounds. So 5 at -2.
Okay, so that is a dead Magus.
Head snipped off, or something like that. Yes, just in time for me to get om-nom-nommed by all of those Genestealers, but hashtag totally worth it. That's all of my charging units done, so I will now select a unit that did not charge, and then we'll begin the alternating sequence. So, I believe I'm going to select these Possessed over here fighting the Locust. Okay, 4 of them are piled into the Locust. D3 for the unit's attacks. It's the big 3. Okay, here we go, rolling to hit on 3s. No rerolls available for this, but that was pretty good anyway. Moving on 2s, strength 6 because of the Greater Possessed nearby. And that, my friend, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at -2.
How many invulnerable saves can I make?
Yes.
How many
You're fast, but are you fast enough?
Well, it is called Quicksilver Dodge. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 8, 5 up invulnerables coming right up. It can be done statistically, just not today.
Oh man, that stings. Alright.
Yoink.
Okay, mission accomplished over here, mission accomplished over here, and yes, that was an incredibly successful fight phase for me. It's not quite over yet though. It's your turn to fight back with something.
Have I got anything left?
Believe it or not, yes. Alright folks, we're at the end of the turn now. The fight phase continued to unfold thusly. The remaining aberrant over here has been killed by the Greater Possessed, but not before the aberrant struck him first and reduced him to a single wound. Aberrants hit like trucks, folks. They really do. Elsewhere over here, because I foolishly piled in too close with my Contemptor here, he got smacked by that guy's hammer. I've only got 4 wounds left now. Just 1 aberrant was able to do that. Scary as heck.
I think I'm going to get more of them.
Yeah, I think you should. They're really, really, really good. More cultists died over here. I think another 3. And meanwhile over there, the Chaos Space Marines got to fight first this time around, and they finished off the rest of those metamorphs. Thank you. And they've piled in this direction and basically turned to face. And maybe, just maybe, one of these days the Powerfist champion will actually get to hit something. Because he hasn't so far. He's been at the back of the queue every time. And that, I think, I'm losing track a little bit of what we've actually recorded here, but in case I forgot, the Magos is dead, and so is the Locust, but I'm pretty sure we got that on camera.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
So, that concludes the turn. We've already rolled morale for the cultists, and your other chaps that lost some guys as well. Both were fine, though.
They're all good.
Nobody's running away from this fight so far. Makes sense, we're all a bunch of zealots on both sides. So, that concludes Wordbearer's turn 3. That was an exceptionally successful fight phase for us, although there were a few flies in the ointment. Flies with really big hammers, as it turned out. And now, we're going to head into the Genestealer Cult's turn 3. Okay folks, it's the end of the Genestealer Cult's turn 3 movement phase. Unsurprisingly, the Genestealers and the Patriarch have charged forth to tear things limb from limb. It's going to be a battle of the sharp, pointy, quick things. My money's on the Genestealers personally, but we'll find out. Meanwhile, these neophytes have moved forward, and our gunslinging friend over here, he's looking at some targets over here, like this Greater Possessed, perhaps. He can shoot characters, so...
Yeah, he loves them.
These bikes have charged forth, because it's all about getting guys in the centre, as you said. So, that's why they're there. And this Ridge Runner here, which I completely forgot existed because it was cunningly hidden behind these giant boxes.
Just as planned.
I completely forgot it was there. So that's now turned the corner and is pointing its mining laser at, oh, I don't know, possibly a very injured dreadnought, for example. Actually, no.
He's locked up in combat.
I was going to say you're locked up in combat with the aberrant, which I can't see from where I'm standing. So, but yes,
You've forgotten his 6 wounds with 1 hammer blow already.
it was brutal. It was brutal stuff. All right, so yeah, that's the movement into the psychic now. The patriarch is going to be unleashing his warp-born gifts. I keep wanting to call him a broodlord. He's not a broodlord. He's better than a broodlord. The patriarch cast psionic blast at this greater possessed and took a wound off him. So, on to the shooting now.
Indeed.
Alright folks, first up, this Kelemorph is firing his awesome dual-wielding pistols at this greater possessed.
Triple wielding pistols.
Of course, right, you've got more than 2 arms, haven't you? Bloody Genestealers.
2 shots each, so that's 6 shots in total, and hitting on 2s.
Okay.
All hit.
Excellent.
And what his toughness is, sorry?
Toughness 5 on this big boy.
Okay, so strength 4, so 5s to wound.
Oh dear. Well,
that was good.
You're gonna have to shoot me harder than that, boy. Alright folks, we're well into the Genestealer Cult shooting phase. Things have not gone according to plan, have they?
And then some.
So, as we saw, the Kelemorph failed to kill the greater possessed, unfortunately. Meanwhile, these neophytes opened fire on these Chaos Marines, and 3 of them died in total in the end, thanks to all those lovely special weapons and things you've got. So well done there. These bikers, on the other hand, had very little luck trying to get any shots into Corvaric here. His armour held firm. And elsewhere, the Ridge Runner here has opened fire with his heavy stubbers, killed 1 Chaos Marine in that squad, and now his mining laser is firing down here at this dreadnought here. Had some options here. You could have shot the Obliterates instead, but again, this game is about who controls the middle, so yeah, Dreadnought's possibly the wiser target.
Okay, so it's heavy D3 and 4-3.
Nice.
And that is 2 hits.
Very nice.
It's heavy in a move.
Strength 9, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nothing happened. There's nothing to see here.
Oh dear.
Deployment zone TB dice guaranteed to roll 2s every time. Actually says it on the back that they're coming. Cheers, Winters.
Yeah. I feel so sorry for you now.
You don't really. You don't have to lie. But let's just move swiftly on that. I've got to do some charges.
You've got a whole campaign to do. Exact your revenge, to be fair. So
yeah, I know.
Maybe I shouldn't feel too sympathetic just yet. Right. Okay. So the all-important charge phase now.
Yeah. Genestealers, multi-charging, the Great Obsessed, and your possessed.
Right. Well, I'll overwatch you with harsh language.
Well, it does make us blush. Yeah. It's 5, so it's not brilliant, but they are in.
Excellent. And with very little effort at all, the Patriarch has joined in as well, and he's going to be fighting the Greater Possessed in single combat, which should be awesome. Meanwhile, over here, these bikes charge straight into Corvaric, the Dark Apostle, so he's going to be fighting them. And these neophytes have charged the Greater Possessed, and hopefully they can bring him down in a massive dog pile of cultist knives, essentially with his one wound left. One wound left? One wound left. So let's see what happens. I should also mention as well, we forgot to mention we did fire the Sanctus?
Yep.
Yeah, the Sanctus with a sniper rifle at the Dark Apostle, and unfortunately failed to wound again. So
Dice gods punish me for forgetting first time round.
Yes. So that's how things stand at the end of the charge phase. Let's fight!
Yeah.
Where would you like to start? I've got 2 command points left. I have 1 interrupt left that I can do at this point, so choose wisely, to quote the knight from the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Playing the points game.
Right.
These guys are going to attack first.
Okay.
So, basically...
Die! Horde of knives! Death by 1,000 cuts there, pretty much. This will be, anyway.
Yeah.
They did it, folks. He had 2 saves to make, and he rolled a 1.
Don't mess with the brothers.
Yeah. Death by 1,000 cultist knives. It's a thing. So that's dead. now it's probably time I interrupted with something. I have choices. Many choices. I think it's going to be something over here. I think it might be... the sensible thing to do would be to interrupt with the Possessed against the Genestealers. But I don't want to do the sensible thing. I want to do the cool thing. I want to interrupt with the Great Possessed fighting the Patriarch. So that's what's going to happen. Okay, big spiky thing versus other big spiky thing. Biggest spiky thing, yeah. 5 attacks, here we go. Hitting on 2s. 1 miss. 4 hits. Now this is strength 6, your toughness...
Toughness 5.
Alright, wounded on 3s then. I think that was all of them.
No,
missed,
one misses.
Failed one. That's what happens when you view the world through a tiny camera screen. Dropping dice. Yeah, you've got 3 at -2.
So that's 3 invulnerable saves.
Okay.
I think. No. Yeah, invulnerable saves are better. So 5 ups.
Wow, okay. Made 2.
So what's the damage?
D3. For the big 3 at least.
Cool.
So I punched you, but you're far from dead.
Yes.
Well, the Genestealers have killed 3 Possessed between them. Possessed having 2 wounds each. Nearly forgot that actually, but they've killed 3 Possessed. And over here, the Patriarch has struck back against the Greater Possessed. I have 4 up invulnerable saves to make. And this is D3 damage each, so I could ideally pass all of these. That'd be nice. So, first one. For the Dark Gods! Pass. Failed. Failed. Passed. Right, so 2d3.
I'm going to roll them together.
Dead. Greater Possessed. Very dead. Moving on from the Genestealer battle, these 2 bikes charged into the Apostle and they managed to bonk a wound off him, so well done them.
Unfortunate word.
Phrasing, man, phrasing! Anyway, moving swiftly on over here, this last aberrant is looking to finish the job he started and scrap this dreadnought. So,
it's hammer time. Hitting on 4s because it's a big hammer. 1 hit, but that's probably all we need because it's really monstrous.
Okay.
So we are going to be wounding on 3s.
Oh dear.
Hey,
you had to say it, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's probably all we'll need.
Yeah.
You said the magic words. Alright, so the Dreadnought lives for now.
Oh, that was pants.
Yeah. I think it's my turn to activate a unit now, is it?
It is indeed, yeah.
Very well. Okay, over at the northern end there, 1 cultist remains of that original squad, annoying those aberrants. And meanwhile, down here, the only thing that's really left for us to do now is for this dreadnought to try and saw that gentleman in half fast. So 5 attacks, hitting on 3s now because we've been degraded, and it's a good thing for you too. Look at that. Was that DZTV dice by any chance?
Yeah.
Oh, actually not this time. No, that's just good old-fashioned bad luck. Right, so 2 hits, strength 14, so a wound on 2s. 2 wounds. AP -3.
That means how many damage?
Flat 3 each, so...
Flat 3 each. And it was 3 3s or 2 3s?
2 3s.
Okay, so need 5s. No, he's dead. Very dead.
Extremely dead. Now, I forgot this last turn. I've remembered this time. I'm not going to re-roll it for last time because I've forgotten. You know, got to live with that. However, he's now killed the thing. Now, you're technically supposed to do this at the end of the turn. I'm not going to do it at the end of the turn because you're just going to bloody forget if you do it at the end of the turn. And besides, it's sort of, you know, we're at the end of the fight phase, so it hardly matters. Every time this Hellforge Contemptor kills something in close combat, if he kills a unit, for each model that he killed, you roll a d6, and a 5+ he gets a wound back, so... No, he doesn't. So, you can eat people and restore health, though, but he didn't this time. So he remains on 4 wounds remaining. Hello.
Not close enough.
Not close enough, no.
I got 3 pistols, 1 for each year.
Yeah. Right, so that concludes the fight phase. Unless I've forgotten anything, but I don't believe I have.
You have.
Have I?
I think so. I think the Possessed need to hit the Genestealer's back.
Oh yeah. No, I thought I already did for some reason, but no. Okay. Alright, well, we've got 4 Possessed remaining. D3 for their attacks. 1. Yeah. Oh well. These will hit on 3s. 3 hits. These will wound on 3s. Strength 5. 3 wounds, AP -2, but you're Genestealer, so you don't care. 2 saved, 1 Genestealer dead. That was very underwhelming. Shame we saved it till last. Quite an anticlimax. Alright, well, let's see. These Chaos Marines here, they took 3 casualties, so morale for them. 6, 7, 8, 9. They are fine though because the Dark Apostle is within 6 inches of them. Actually, within 9 inches of them. He's got that big aura because of the voice of Lorgar. I keep forgetting about that. Anyway, the cultists, there's only 1 left. I think they lost 4 at least.
Yeah,
so
he's brilliant.
6.
Yeah,
he's out of there, and I don't blame him either.
I'm glad to see the back of him, to be honest. In my head in.
And the possessed over here, they lost 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they're fine. So that concludes with
Turn 3.
turn 3. Who was it? Genestealer Cult turn 3.
It was Genestealer Cult turn 3.
When you've got that much melee fight phase stuff going on, I sometimes lose track of whose turn it actually is. But yes, so that concludes Genestealer Cult's turn 3. Wordbearer's turn 4 up next. Alright folks, we're at the end of the movement phase for the Wordbearers. Cultists have charged forth out of their cosy little ruins to head towards the centre of the table. The Obliterators have hopped off of their crate and very slowly advancing towards the centre of the table as well, with their 4-inch movement, meaning they don't really get very far. These Chaos Marines have moved to envelop the Dark Apostle and protect him from some potential incoming Genestealers in the following turn or 2. And this Contemptor is closing in on the Kellamorph. These Chaos Marines up here are closing in on the Ridge Runner because I want to tie it up in close combat if it doesn't die. And this Hellbrute here has positioned himself in this gap. If the Genestealers and the Patriarch charge him, I don't really rate his chances of survival, but what he will do is slow them down significantly. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with him. I remarked already off camera that possibly one of the better things I could have done was to withdraw those possess from combat, fall them back, which would then allow these Obliterators to shoot the Genestealers through this gap here, because they do actually have line of sight on them. However, possessed falling back? Are you serious? No, of course they're not going to fall back. Don't be ridiculous. So that's not happening. And that concludes the movement, pretty much. So, straight into the Psychic, this Sorcerer, who has also moved out of his cozy ruin as well. He's going to be casting Prescience on these Obliterators to start with, so he needs a 7 for this. He does get it with a 9. And then Warp Time on the Obliterators as well. This goes up on a 6. Which it does. So they're going to move another 4 inches in this direction. Naughty things are being said off camera here.
Well, usually it's on camera, so it's all good.
Right. There are things. Right. Put cultists with auto pistols and auto guns, and these Marines with their bolters fired and killed the rest of those neophytes. The rest of this squad, we now need to fire the plasma gun and the las cannon, both firing up at that Ridge Runner, you see. So we're going to start with the las cannon, hitting on a 4+, and it misses. And the plasma gun, not overcharging, misses. It's a good thing I didn't overcharge it too. Alright, that was a bit anticlimactic. Let's move over here to this Contemptor, who's going to fire both his combi bolters into the Kellamorph, hitting on 3s. Not like this. Yeah. And wound. What's his toughness? 3?
3. It's
Yeah.
all 3.
Wounding on 3s.
Just looking, yeah, he does have a 5 up in though, so that's
You have
big.
3 saves with no AP.
Okay, well, it's 5 up either way. Oh,
Lost it. Nice. Okay. So he takes 1 wound.
Almost.
Right. My shooting's not doing very well today.
Well, it is today, just not this.
Well, yeah. Today in the
I've got nothing
weird
left.
figurative sense, Yes, I take your point. Right. Okay, well, these Chaos Marines opened fire with their pistols and flamer at the Ridge Runner, took a single wound off it. And that leaves us with just these Obliterators here. So let's roll this stuff. Strength is 6 plus D3. So 8 minus 2 AP and damage 1. So
I like
they're
that damage roll.
yeah, I know. I get to choose now what to shoot with them once I've rolled the stats for them. I'm going to shoot the Ridge Runner anyway. So 12 shots, hitting on 2s because of prescience. And, yep, that's not bad. And this is strength 8, so wound on 3s. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. With AP minus 2, I think it was a roll.
Okay, so that's 6 up saves. I make 2. What's the damage on them?
1.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, down to 2.
2 wounds remaining. It's a tough old thing, that. Alright, so that's all of my shooting now done. Now let's go to charging, and really a lot of charging happen. I can't get around here because my possessed are in the way. And there'll be this charge here, so I guess let's do that. Roll the dice. Yes, I'm in, funnily enough. Let's do the Overwatch. Well, the Contemptor's in with no issues at all. No wounds taken on Overwatch. Lost 1 Chaos Marine on Overwatch though, against this Ridge Runner, but they've got a huge charge, and I've moved them round to the front of it to block its path and also get some more movement towards the centre here, so that's why I did that. Let's start with them fighting the... Have you got any more command points left?
I've got 2.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wonder what I could use those for.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe I'll use them on rerolls.
Yeah, sure. Mr. AP Burn using them on rerolls, sure. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. Okay, well, I'll give the Kellamorph a chance. Why not? To be sporting. I'll start with this lot versus the Ridge Runner.
Cool.
Well, these guys managed to take a wound off with their chainswords off the Ridge Runner. The champion, finally having gotten to combat with his Power Fist after all this time, whiffed spectacularly and did no damage. What an MVP. Can you feel the sarcasm? Right, so are you interrupting now?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it'd be funny to do it with the Kellamorph, but I mean...
No, you don't want to do it with the Kellamorph? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Well, you know, it would be hilarious if he took 4 wounds off a Contemptor and killed it. But the sensible thing is to take out the possessed with the Genestealers.
Yes.
But I'm not sensible, so I'm going to interrupt the Kellamorph.
Really? Oh, okay. I genuinely didn't know, to be honest with you, because I don't know Genestealer Cult. For all I know, he could have like a massive sword of death hidden under that coat of his, but does like a jillion
definitely
damage.
Doesn't.
So you're just going to pistol whip a Dreadnought then, basically?
Yeah, essentially.
At least you're pistol whipping him 3 times.
To be fair, he's a cultist knife, but you know, it's only strength 3.
Oh. Okay then.
3 attacks, 2 hits.
Alright.
1 wound. No
Hey!
AP.
Do I say 3 up? No, I don't. GG, Kellamorph.
He just scratched your shins with his knife.
Yeah. Okay then, well. Possessed then, I suppose. D3 for their attacks. That was the big fat one again. Excellent. Alright, with their epoxy 1 attack each, they killed 3 Genestealers, and then the Genestealers murdered the ever-loving crap out of them, and they're all dead. So bye-bye, Possessed.
To be fair, that was the most 6s I've ever rolled in one go. But,
you did roll
5
6s, which did preposterous amounts of rending. So, yeah, they were extremely dead. And that's how things look at the end of the fight phase. No, it's not quite the end. The Ridge Runner. You get to run people over.
You do, and also I'm pretty sure you get to hit my Kellamorph.
Oh yeah, I do, don't I?
So it should be that first.
I'm not very clever, am I?
Well, I was in 2 minds of whether, you know, sneaky Genestealer Cult's whether to make it known, but, you know.
Alright. YouTubers certainly make it known in the comments afterwards, my goodness. Alright, 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 2s. Yeah, that's 3 wounds, minus 3.
Okay, that's no save. He's dead.
Dead. Extremely.
Oh no, hang on, he gets his 5 up and vulnerable, doesn't he? Because he can dodge and things.
Alright, there you go.
Doesn't.
Never mind.
he has Quicksilver, like whatever it is, and still gets
Punished once again for forgetting, I think. Alright, well, yeah, now you can run some people over. He's got 3 attacks, hit on 6s.
He doesn't hit any of them.
Hit at all. Alright, so morale. My possessors are all dead. And I lost 1 marine over there, but they'll auto pass because of their banner and stuff. That's it. I mean, you lost some Genestealers.
Yeah.
So you lost 3, right? So I don't know, can they pass or fail or what? With the Patriarch nearby, their leadership 10, so they auto pass as well. Alright, morale done. That's the end of Wordbearer's turn 4. On to
Genestealer's turn 4.
Indeed. Alright folks, a little bit of a movement and psychic phase summary here for you. Movement, Genestealers came up here. That's sort of all the movement really. Did the Ridge Runner fall back or is he staying in combat?
No, he's staying in combat and the Acolyte Hybrids moved up.
Excellent. There was a psychic phase, it was very brief. The Patriarch smited the Dreadnought, then did a psionic blast, had a Perils and a double 6, and took 3 wounds on himself.
And then rolled a double 1.
And rolled a double 1 for the leadership roll, so he took only 1 wound off the Dreadnought. So the Dreadnought's on 4, the Patriarch is on 3. I kind of wish I'd filmed it, because it was just a kind of a comedy of errors, really. But yes, some damage was done to both sides in that psychic phase. And now we're basically... There's no shooting.
There is.
Oh, there is, yes. The Sanctus, of course.
Sanctus is going to shoot your Psycho. Because...
yeah,
that's what he does.
Yes, anti-psychic bullets.
So, 1 shot, hitting on 2s, no, 3s, 2s, well, it doesn't matter, it's hit anyway.
Yep. We're on a 4+.
Which
Man, he's having about as much luck as my Vindicare usually does. That's a shame.
Is it? Say it like you mean it.
He's just a sorcerer. I don't care if he blows brains out with an anti-psychic bullet. In fact, it would be kind of fun. So, but
it's all about trying to thin your numbers in the centre of the field. But it's anyway. Yeah. Charges straight into the charger, I think, because they're all self-evident. These guys are going to charge them. They're still locked up in combat.
Okay.
Can't really fail. Yeah.
Jobs are good. Now, down here, I feel it necessary to point out that this Hellbrute has a pair of heavy flamers, so you may want to choose wisely.
Yeah,
to which
the Genestealer is going to go in first and take the heat, literally, and then the Patriarch will come in afterwards.
Okay, dig the heat, get out of the kitchen! 4 auto hits. Oh, never mind. I bigged it up and then anticlimax.
Yeah,
great,
to kill them
good
all.
Stuff. And I'm not going to kill them all. I got 2 wounds though.
1 saved. 1 isn't saved.
1 dead Genestealer. That was extremely underwhelming. But now the Dreadnought is tied up in close combat. So the Broodlord is the Patriarch. Yeah, he's in as well.
Yeah.
Dreadnought's in trouble. Okay, well, in the fight phase, the Genestealer's piled into the Dreadnought, hit him with lots of attacks. They got 4 successful wounds. 3 of those are a -4, so he takes 3 wounds immediately because they get no save against that. And 1 at -1 remaining. If I pass this, he lives. If I fail it, he's toast.
Please don't blow up if you die.
4+. Yes! Alright, he lives on a single wound remaining.
With the Patriarch still to hit you.
Indeed. Alright, it's the Patriarch's turn now. He's almost as big as the Dreadnought. Let's go.
He's got a little footstool. He's not quite as tall.
He's standing on a box.
Yeah, he's the Tom Cruise of 40k world. Okay, hitting on 2s. All hit.
Right.
Toughness 7.
Yes.
So strength lots. Strength 6. So 5 to wound you. At least 1 of these needs to go through. And see 2.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 go through.
2 go through. One of those was a 6.
-3 and D3 damage.
What about the 6? Is that not like a special minus 10 billion AP?
Yeah, it's -6 AP.
Alright, yeah, so he's had it. Does he explode? No.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Dreadnought, Hellbrute, whatever we're calling you this
And we'll do a
time.
little cheeky consolidation here. I mean, you can hit me back, but I need to be closer to the centre.
Right, gotcha. Well, I fully intend to hit you back. That's just what I'm about to do right after
I've done this.
that's done there, yeah.
Let's not film this, it's complicated.
Well, over here it was carnage. Every single Chaos Marine except the champion is dead, but the champion punched the Ridge Runner to death. It did not explode, luckily for everyone involved over there, but he stands alone against 3 acolytes with some nasty, nasty weapons.
There's actually 4 of them there.
There is 4, it's one hiding behind the crate again. And so we move back down here to where the Patriarch consolidated into these guys. I've got 4 regular close combat attacks. These will hit on 3s, you're rolling everything because of I almost said the Patriarch then. No, the Dark Apostle. Okay. 3 hits. He's toughness what?
6.
Yeah, 5s to wound then. No wounds at all. And now the champion with his
toughness 5, sorry.
his hammer that counts as a power fist, as we discussed earlier. Hits on 4s, I can reroll everything but 3s. Lucky thing too. Gets 1 hit, and it's strength 8, so wound at 3. It does wound, AP minus 3. 4, it's not enough, is it?
No, needed a 5.
D3 damage. Am I about to kill a Patriarch with a big glowy blue hammer? Possibly? No, not quite.
He's on 1 wound.
1 wound remaining. Ooh. That aspiring champion very nearly got promoted. Right.
That's it. That's 10.
That's the lot. Morale over here. He lost 4 guys, I think, there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's still good. And elsewhere, I think nothing much else. I mean, I think I killed a Genestealer, but again, you've got leadership 10, so that doesn't really matter. Okay, right. Cult turn 4 over and done with.
Yeah.
Over to Wordbearer's turn 5. We're getting to endgame territory now. Okay, folks, it's the end of the turn 5 Wordbearer's movement phase. Everything, you can see it all here really in just this one shot. This Dreadnought has stomped 6 inches over here to try and join that champion in that fight with the acolytes over there. Cultists have continued to move down this street of sorts here towards the centre. The Obliterators have stomped another 4 inches over this way with the Sorcerer in tow. And Corvaric here has moved around to attack that Broodlord and potentially nick some glory. Seems like a very Corvaric thing to do, really. Let his minions get it down to 1 wound and then see if he can sweep in and take the killing blow for himself. So that's his plan. Let's see if it hilariously backfires. That's all the movement. That's done. That's it. As for shooting, well, there's not a lot I can shoot. The only thing I can really shoot is those Genestealers there with these Obliterators.
Any psychic?
Any psychic? My rulebook just fell off the table. Ignore that. Any psychic? Sure. Prescience on the Obliterators, which does go off, and I could smite the Broodlord, but that would be very boring indeed.
I'll deny you anyway.
True. So
I'm going to deny your prescience just because I'm obdurate.
Oh, I see. I got a 7, I think. So.
Okay, so here's an 8.
No.
I'll just go.
Alright, so yeah, I could smite, I could warp time something if I wanted to that was in 3 inches, but the only thing is the Obliterators and so yeah, I'm not going to smite you. I'm not going to do it. I probably should, and you know, comments might scream at me for it, but I don't care. He's probably specifically shouted over at the Sorcerer, "Do not smite it, it is mine." So that's what the plan is. Alright, so yeah, shooting phase. I'm probably going to do the Obliterators off camera, really. And to nobody's surprise whatsoever, the Genestealers died. So, that really concludes the shooting. I don't really have anything left to shoot. There's the Sanctus all the way over there, but I don't think I've got anything that's in range of him, so, you know. Yeah, the that brings us to the charge phase. So, Dark Apostle. Is academic, really, but yes, he just so happens to get in there. Elsewhere, this Contemptor is going to try and get into those acolytes over there. I'll roll, see what we get. He gets a 7. That's probably enough. Okay, well, the Contemptor made it in and fought, and he killed 1 acolyte. He missed with all but one of his attacks. We're not going to talk about that much more. That's a bit embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, let's hope Corvaric does not embarrass himself here with the Broodlord. He does only have 3 attacks. He's a Dark Apostle.
Pride before a fall.
Yeah, indeed. He does hit on 2s though, re-rolling, so... Re-roll that 1. Okay, so he hits 3 times with his Cursed Crozius. And this is Strength +2, so Strength 6. Does it fall +2 wound?
Yes.
Okay. He only wounds once. You see what I mean?
5 up.
It's a -2.
He's
5 up, failed.
5 up in one failed. He's dead.
Does he do an explodey thing?
No, sadly not. He's got lightning reflexes, living idle, breed telepathy, swift and deadly. Nah, nothing.
Right. So Corvaric steps up to the plate, swings his massive Crozius, and takes the final wound off an already very injured Patriarch, and claims the glory for himself, somewhat unconvincingly, admittedly, to everyone who was there at the time, but, you know.
He's the John Terry of the Word Bearers.
Oh, that cuts deep. Okay. Alright, do you wish to swing back with your acolytes against something? Maybe finish off that champion, I don't know. Oh, actually, I've got to pick one, haven't I? Right. Champion, 2 attacks, 1 hit, 1 wound, -3. Is it just a dead acolyte?
It is. I don't know why I'm getting that to roll.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
Actually, no, I'm going to leave the drill. I'm going to take him.
The drill's awesome. You don't need the drill.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit you back with the drill.
Excellent.
Just that I'm not splitting attacks. Everything's going into him because I don't like him.
Alright.
Moral victories.
I don't like him much either, to be fair.
1 wound, minus lots.
Minus lots. Is it -3 or 4?
4.
Alright, no save then.
Told you die.
You drilled him to death. Yeah, there are better ways to go than that, that's for sure. Alright.
And that's it done, really.
That's...
and on that note, I'm going to shake your hand because I've got 3 models left and my power level doesn't even add up to what you have in the centre.
No.
So I can't win.
No.
But the Sanctus has observed everything and he's going to sneak away to regroup.
Yes, he did
forces.
survive indeed, so... Right, okay, let's have a think. Alright folks, so that wraps up Mission 1 of this campaign, as yet untitled. We still haven't managed to think of a good title for it yet. Well, we'll figure that out in editing, but Mission 1 completed. The Wordbearers stand victorious, with the streets here full of the blood and bodies of both sides, but ultimately it is the Chaos Worshippers that stand victorious in the centre here. Corvaric has learned what has caused this disturbance on this planet, and he's learned that there's a Genestealer Cult infestation here that needs to be dealt with. I think his recourse at the moment is to call in reinforcements and push further in and try and find the root of this infestation and tear it out. And hopefully that will be an end to it. So I think next time, folks, we're going to be heading deeper in to the hives and deeper in to the forges, heading inside and underground and into the tight passages and to the places where the cult has made its home.
That'll be your first mistake.
That'll be our first mistake indeed. So that probably coming up in Mission 2, folks, and yeah, the only thing that's left for us to do is the character stuff. So in this campaign, we're going to be doing some character experience stuff. So let's go take a look at those guys. Okay folks, well here are the characters who survived this particular battle. The way we decided to do this is if a character survives a battle, they get a new trait from the custom character section of Chapter Approved 2018. It's nice and simple, useful little resource that. Nice and simple, nothing complicated with experience points and stuff, just if you survive, you get a new trait. So, to begin with, Corvaric, my Dark Apostle here, he has gained the trait Resilient. So he has a 5+ feel no pain going forward. He took some wound in this battle and lived to tell the tale, so he's pretty resilient. Makes sense. The Sorcerer here, as yet unnamed, he has gained the Psychic extra ability thing. Trait, that's the word. Master of Law. So he knows an extra psychic power. So he normally knows 2, but now he knows 3 thanks to that. And the Sanctus has gained Deadly Marksman. So he now does an extra point of damage with his ranged weapons when he shoots them, which you already do quite a bit of damage with that sniper rifle there, don't you? So that's pretty sweet. You could one-shot a character with that now, couldn't you?
That's kind of the plan.
Yeah. So that's a little scary. So yeah, they've all improved now. And we'll do the same for characters that survive future battles. But there you go. Alright folks, well thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this part 1 of the new campaign. There might be other campaigns too. There's no rule somewhere that says we can only do one campaign at a time, so I'll see what other people are interested in doing. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it too. And join us for part 2. I don't know exactly when that's going to be yet, but it will be some point in the near future, where we head deeper into the forges to root out this infestation. So it's goodbye from me, goodbye from Andrew.
Cheerio.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you next time.